Have a question for me or next week's guru? Post it below. Barbara Streisand. Sorry. What's up, Paranormal Addicts? I'm Lotograph, and welcome to the Beyond Natural. This week I'm covering Case 12, our second investigation to the location that I discussed in episode 4. Also, our guest guru is Ryan Michaels, a psychic medium. He's already been featured on the show Psychic Kids, and we're extremely happy to have him on the Beyond Natural. Now, STPI returned to the residence we investigated in Case 4 because the homeowner wanted us back, and honestly, we felt the investigation wasn't complete. Strange noises, EVPs, and the mysterious light were things we wanted to see if we could recreate or find some natural answers to. But before I get started into the highlight clips, I want to discuss a few things first. I know, nag, 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 tab, filthy dribble. Well, sit tight, because I'll make it quick and painless. In this week's footage, you're going to see a flying thing. Now, let me make it clear that when I produce the scripts and host, I get a bunch of clips to choose from, and I try to bring the best of what we have. I want to say that when I present something as a highlight or evidence, the idea is to give some for excitement, some to learn from, and some to just make you play and go, I may tell you what clips to do what with, but honestly, I think it's best if you make your own conclusions. We're not here saying, what? Look at us, we're know-it-alls.
Yes, we know-it-alls.
Because we don't know-it-all, that is. In some cases, the clips you see in each episode just provide something for you to acknowledge and form your own hypothesis about. And then, go out and prove it. Heck, video me with your own flying thingy. And I don't mean orbs, but that fancy anomaly we saw a few episodes back. Now on to the highlights. Our first clip is of Sarah and Sherry in one of the rooms. You'll see something orb-like fly through the clip around Sherry and then out of sight. Take a look.
Yeah. That's the thing about this one. It pretty much feels normal, right? You don't feel anything strange.
Right.
But when we listened back, there was lots to be heard.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to show you a closer look at this clip later on, but I wanted to give you a quick peek. Just to make you aware, this little flying thing did attract the attention of our cameraman who tried to track it down. But more on that later. Next up is Sarah and Sherry again. Same room, a little later on. They hear some bumping noises. Both noises are right at the beginning of the clip. Listen close.
That's not just the house settling.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, the bumping noises we heard on our first visit to the residence. As you see, they continued for this investigation too. This wasn't the only time we heard them in the evening. As Sherry mentioned, she felt the noises were the house settling, but as they continued to happen, it added some skepticism to the original thought, as it was already below freezing outside. Leading us up to the next clip. This one has Destin and Sarah. Greg's on camera, and this was the last team in the house for the evening. They are also hearing some strange sounds.
Is there an attic in here? Somewhere?
Yeah. Why?
Footsteps.
Yeah.
I hear that too.
Footsteps?
You don't
That's what
hear
it sounds like. Somebody's walking around upstairs,
that?
but not in this room.
No.
Like, maybe coming from the
So
living
the
room.
team heard footsteps, as if someone was walking around in the attic area. What you don't see is that our team located the entrance to the attic, which is only accessible from outside the home, and is locked at all times. Enough about footsteps and weird visuals. It's time for the Guest Guru of the Week! This week's guest guru is Ryan Michaels, a psychic medium who, as I mentioned before, was featured on the show Psychic Kids. Ryan is a wonderful guy, and today he's bringing us our first ever video interview. While I didn't get to video via live feed, this is still pretty darn cool. Let's give a big warm welcome to our first video guest.
Hi, my name is Ryan Michaels, and I have been a psychic medium since I was 10 years old.
Now, I did get a chance to do a phone interview with Ryan, but we'll show that at a later date. My first question for Ryan is, what abilities do you
My
possess?
abilities are channeling through automatic writing, precognition, psychometry, remote viewing, astral projection, empathy, and communication with the deceased.
Wow, that sounds amazing. You sure have a lot. Now, have you had any spiritual help?
I would like to thank my spirit guide, Mr. Unknown. He has helped me since I was 10 overcome a young woman who needed crossed over in a demonic presence. Since then, he's helped me through everything with my abilities. 2 years ago, my grandfather passed away, and since then, he has helped me a great deal, along with my abilities as well.
So, do you have a faith or religion?
In the summers, I travel to Lilydale, New York, which is the largest and oldest spiritualist community in the world. Spiritualism is my religion, that I luckily joined 2 years ago. It was the best thing I ever did. Spiritualism is a religion, a science, and a philosophy.
I've never heard of spiritualism before. Definitely be interested in looking it up online. Is there any specific place you like to go or visit?
When I have some spare time, I always go up to the Knickerbocker Hotel. There's some great people up there that own it and let me visit. And it's a wonderful place where you can go and investigate and just feel welcomed.
Sounds like a really awesome place. So, what have you experienced in the paranormal realm?
I have seen demons. I communicate with spirit, family, and spirit guides. One thing I haven't seen yet is angels, but I am hoping that will come one day for sure.
So you mentioned your abilities earlier. Can you explain to us a little bit how they work?
I am a psychic medium, and being a psychic medium, I have different abilities, such as I can channel through automatic writing. Now, automatic writing is when spirit comes through you and draws or tells something such as a name or a place, or draws a location so you could help get to know them a little bit better, and it just gives more proof that spirit are actually there and giving you information. I also have precognition. I usually dream about something before it happens. Now, I also dream of things that happened in the past, which is recognition. I don't do that so much as I have premonition. Something that I like to do just for fun is astral project. Astral project is when I'm meditating or sleeping, and I just head out and go to my Shangri-La. Something a little bit different I can do. It doesn't really help me work on any missing person cases or get any information. It's just something for fun and meditative state only. Now, something that I do only for missing person cases is actually remote view. When I remote view, I put myself into a meditative state, and I just go to that location where they are. Once there, I pick up on everything that has happened in the past, what's happening there now, in future. I think that really helps me a lot when it comes to missing person cases. It gives me a good idea of who was there, who's going to be there, where exactly they searched, and it just helps me all around figure more out about that person. Now, what makes me a medium is I am able to communicate with the deceased. I do this through trance. I go into a trance and I bring through a spirit guide or a deceased family member who then talks to me and just proves that they are with you. I pick up on their feelings, which is called empathy. You also can feel empathy towards people, and I don't usually do that as much towards people, but more the spirits.
Wow, that's amazing. Definitely like the whole sound of astral projection. Now, what resources would you recommend to other young people and parents of those with psychic abilities?
Some resources that I can recommend for people that are having problems when they're a psychic or a medium or even a paranormal investigator is to go on, find your favorite person, such as Ghost Hunters, Paranormal State, myself, Chip Coffey, Chris Fleming, John Edwards. Read about them, find out how they work and what they do when they're in trouble. When doing this, just feel how you would like to handle that situation, if you would like to use some of how they help themselves and put in your own personal religious belief or what you think that would help.
I believe it's important for those with abilities to have a support structure as well. My next question was purely my own curiosity, and I wanted to know if Ryan believed that everyone has a little bit of a psychic in them.
I used to believe that everybody did have psychic abilities to some extent, but after a while of actually being psychic and talking to people who were having problems and talking to some psychics, my view of that did change. I don't think that everybody has psychic abilities. I think that people do have psychic abilities or they don't. Now there is a line, of course, a border. Either you're psychic, you're not, or you're in the middle of being intuitive. I find these days with crystalline children and indigo children, a lot of more people are intuitive, but they're not psychic, but yet they do have ability. I think as some basketball players are really good, some people can swim really well, some people are amazing artists or musicians, some people are psychic.
Finally, I want to understand if Ryan mainly found himself the recipient of people wanting to contact passed on loved ones, or if he was a receiver more often than anything. A receiver being a psychic who gets continuous message from the deceased and being expected to deliver those messages.
When I received messages from spirit, at first it came through only when I would touch someone or hear someone's voice or maybe touch something of theirs. After a while, when people started finding out about me, they started contacting me through my website and asking me for readings or information, and I would either call them or meet them in person because I need voice or touch vibrations, and I can get information about almost anyone. I say almost because if you come into a reading or if you come to me with your mind set on one person, it blocks off everything else. Therefore, you're not going to be able to get information. Also, if you don't believe or if it's against your religion, there's no reason, in my belief, to come to a psychic because you're not going to get good information. The psychic's going to pick up on that, and it's going to be terrible information. I had trouble for a while doing different people in different religions because talking to them, I knew what religion they were, and it bothered me to know that everything I said I was being judged for.
Finally, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I hope you enjoyed the interview. I am open for psychic advice or readings, psychic parties where I meet up to at least 15, 20 people. I also work on missing person cases. I do paranormal investigations, paranormal consultations, and I also do meditation circles. Them are actually, they get you intuitive and find your inner self. For any more information, you can visit www.psychicryan.com, where you can read all about me, different people. I have a blog and journal that I post new things weekly, including blocking yourself off and a lot of things that we talked about, and I'm sure a lot of other people talk about are questions that you're just wondering. If you do have a question, please find me on Facebook, Ryan Michaels, my YouTube series, Into the Paranormal, which is Paranormal Lost Soul on YouTube. Email me at rmparanormal@yahoo.com, like I said, my website, and I will get back to you shortly and answer any questions that you have. And if you have any questions for me, let me know and I'll answer them. And if you want me to do a blog and journal, I will do that as well. Okay.
I want to thank Ryan for speaking with me. He's awesome and I really appreciate him taking the time. I know he's really busy. Now on to the evidence! This first clip is an EVP that Sarah and Sherry caught immediately upon entering the home.
Session starts. Cool.
Abandon all hope, ye who wish for no profanity. It just comes with the gig, I guess. As with EVPs, the ladies had no clue that they were already receiving communication until the review. All these EVPs were caught on the video audio and not by a digital voice recorder. Next up, another EVP with Sarah and Sherry. This one is around the kitchen area where the laundry room and entrance to the basement is.
Open the hole in the floor.
Oh, is that to the basement?
There.
It was a little creepy. Starting to think this is going to become the Sarah and Sherry show pretty quick because we got one more EVP for you. Boom, boom.
Replace the...
Yeah, since we have those screwed up.
Boom, boom. Honestly, it's a little disconcerting to find these types of EVPs during reviews because we can't immediately respond or ask questions. Another interesting point to make is that all of these EVPs were caught on the video audio and not by a digital voice recorder. Finally, let's watch that clip again of the little flying orb-like thing.
That's the thing about this one. It pretty much feels normal, right? You don't feel anything strange.
Right.
But when we listened back, there was lots to be heard.
Yeah.
So
when
wow.
when you said that, I get like that tingly feeling in the back of my neck.
Yeah. When I first saw that, freaked me out so bad.
Yeah, I'm still getting antsy like that.
Now notice how Tyler, on camera, catches it and follows it with the camera. It disappears, but he's still looking for it. What's cool is that he saw the object with his own eyes, not the camera viewfinder. Now bugs are illuminated through IR technology, but are they illuminated through eyeball technology? Let's take another look with a slowdown and some Photoshop illustrations of where it's located.
When we listened back, there was lots to be heard.
Yeah. Like when
My gosh! Blinkety blink blink, blink blink. Do you think this might be the strange light that Sarah saw in our last episode at this residence? Well, finally, let's watch that again. Remember, it's wintertime, cold and below freezing. The house is vacant, no heater, our investigators are not ruffling around or stirring up dust, and there are no bugs venturing out in the cold. Plus, no food to attract fruit flies or clothes to draw in moths. Also, the STPI review team noted a strange sound made as the thing passes through. Now, they compared this to the girls in regular, slow-mo, and super slow-mo footage. While some could mistake it for a breath or breathing, after careful review and listening, multiple members of the STPI review team felt the sound was separate from the girls and not made by breathing or any other noises. The review team also cross-referenced the footage against another segment with the girls that included them breathing and talking. Now, the extra sound heard in the footage with the flying object wasn't present. Trust me, a lot of consideration goes into the whole analyzing audio and video bit.
Yeah, that's the thing about this one. It pretty much feels normal, right? You don't feel anything strange.
right.
But when we listened back, there was lots to be heard.
Yeah. Like when
Like,
when
wow.
you said that I
Now, in the slow-mo version, you see that whatever is flying around the room doesn't blend against its surroundings like a light beam would as it moves. For an example of this, take a laser pointer and move it along the wall on your own. You'll see what I mean. Every time you come to an obstruction, it'll naturally blend against it. As you can plainly see, no one in the footage is moving as the thing flies through. One final note that the STPI review team shared with me is that the object seemed to cast a shadow against the wall after it went around Sherry. Bottom line, I'm not saying this is paranormal, but an anomaly that we have attempted to recreate, and couldn't. Usually bugs end up being streams of light on our cameras, and larger streams occur when crossing an IR light or any light for that matter. Now, I wouldn't recommend jumping to paranormal or normal conclusions with this one. Merely just file it away to see if you come across anything else like it in the future. That wraps up this week's episode. Next week we'll be revisiting Marie Birdsong's interview and giving you a chance to hear what we didn't have time to air previously. Now, our topic, spiritual healing. Plus, in the coming weeks, I'll have more footage from guest gurus Sam, Rich, and Grayson on their topics as well. I'll also be looking at Case 13, highlights, and evidence. Till next week, keep it safe. To get links to Ryan's site and other sites for those interested in the paranormal, visit our links page at www.2stpi.com. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Sorry, I had to do that little last bit because of the pigtails. You know bad, you know it. You're bad, you know it.